I'm not trying to spend hundreds of dollars on toys and things that may not be around forever. But when I do buy, I really am intentional about buying things that are going to be here for a long time. If you don't have a lot of space, which we don't have a huge playroom, this is so ideal. We actually bought one for Kaden and he almost fell on his head because there was no support. I'm pretty sure I have shared this in a previous video before, but it's still such a favorite purchase of mine. Hello and welcome back to my channel. This week we are talking all about my current favorite items for both my 5-month-old and my toddler who is 2-ish years old. These are all items that are fairly priced, long-lasting, good quality, things that are definitely going to be staples for you in your households. So I hope that you enjoy this video. And if you do, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a mom friend because it truly helps my channel so much. And cheers. So the first thing I wanted to share with you guys that I'm still obsessed with is this bookshelf for my son and now for both my kids, because obviously I have books for both of them up there. And this is something I'll forever use. So I feel like this was a really good purchase. If you don't have a lot of space, which we don't have a huge playroom, this is so ideal because it's really small. It doesn't take up a lot of space and it fits so many books. It looks good, it's cute, and it's really affordable too. So if you're looking for a bookshelf right now, I see a lot of the ones that like you have on the floor or like by your kid's bedside, and those are cute too, but this I don't see much and I wonder why. This is just in my opinion so much better. So if you're in the market and you're looking for something a little bit different than what you normally see, I highly recommend looking into this one. Okay, the second thing that I am obsessed with, and this is something that I kept from my first and I'm now using with my second, is the activity center that we got for my first. This activity center is so great for so many reasons. Number one, it's not just an activity center. It turns into a table once you're done using it, which I think is so cool that you don't need to just get rid of it after you're done using it. Another thing I really like about this activity center is that the piano area at the top can then transition to the bottom as they get bigger so that they can play with their little feet, which I think is really cute and really cool that you get to kind of switch things up a little bit for them. Obviously, activity centers, they have their toys that are attached to them, but I also bought 2 new ones recently for Vin. I highly recommend. There's a reason why we kept it for a second. The next thing I wanted to share with you guys is our toy storage bin, because if you have kids, obviously there are going to be toys all over the place, and especially if you don't have a designated area for them to play in, like we have the playroom, so most of the mass usually stays here. Of course, sometimes it gets out of the playroom a little bit, which is totally fine, but mostly the toys are all here. So it's important for us to have a place to kind of store them after we're done playing. With my first, I've been teaching him to put things back where they belong since he was a little baby. I think it's really important for them to understand everything has its place so that when they get to an age where they fully understand that, then it will just become second nature and you don't have to stress about the house being upside down all the time, which I would really like for that not to be the case for me. So one that I got, I believe there are various sizes. I got like probably the small or the medium size. I didn't want anything too big because like I said, we don't have a huge playroom. So the one that I got is just big enough to store the toys that we need. I also wanted to, I don't even want to say be a minimalist about it, because if you look around, like, I don't think anyone would consider me a minimalist with toys. There's so many toys here still, but I do really try not to overbuy so that we don't have so many toys and it's not so overwhelming for my kids. Highly recommend this toy storage. Check it out if you haven't already. Everything I'm going to mention here too is fairly priced. So that is something I always look for when making any purchases. I'm not trying to spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars on toys and things that may not be around forever. But when I do buy, I really am intentional about buying things that are going to be here for a long time. So this toy storage has been here for a long time. The bookshelf obviously is going to be here like forever. And even the activity center, I bought thinking long term, like we want to use this again. So I hope you guys appreciate that. The next thing I wanted to mention to you guys, and this is another one that a lot of people don't buy. They buy like the go-to chairs with the kid's name personalized on it. We tried going that route initially, but those chairs are so cheap. We actually bought one for Kaden and he almost fell on his head because there was no support. And we paid like quite a bit for that chair. So we decided, you know what, let's not play any games. Let's look for a chair that is an actual chair, like an adult chair for a child that he can really use. So we found this little guy, and sturdy, great quality, not so expensive, cute, and he loves it. So we highly recommend, if you're still trying to make a decision on the chair, to look into this one too, because again, when thinking about buying stuff like this, we want it to last a long time and not just look cute. So that was why we made this decision. Since we are on this chair conversation, I wanted to share my rocking chair that we now have in the playroom. Honestly, I've been back and forth on putting this where Vincent's room is right now, but there's really not a lot of space there. He's like currently staying in the guest room. So eventually we want to switch him to his brother's room, but obviously he's not ready right now. But until then, it's currently in the playroom, which I really love. The reason why I wanted to share the rocking chair again, and I know I'm pretty sure I have shared this in a previous video before, but it's still such a favorite purchase of mine. I've had this since Kaden, so it's been over 2 years now. It still looks amazing and is just as comfortable. And the thing about chairs is you really can go all out with chairs, rocking chairs, nursery chairs. I know a lot of people love the aesthetic look. I think these look really cute. They're really great and comfortable. There's actually a place for you to put your legs up too, but I don't have that stool here because I didn't want to have something that Caden could play with and like hurt himself. So we just have the chair out here. But when I used it to rock him as a baby, I had Bolt out there and it was just the most comfortable setup. So if you're looking for a rocking chair and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, look no further. Lastly, I wanted to share with you guys the mat that we use in the playroom. And the reason why I wanted to share that is because for some reason we had a really hard time finding one that we really liked. And more specifically, like one that's big enough, one that's comfortable, that's cute, because I did want it to be aesthetically pleasing too. And again, you will see a lot of the same ones online. The reason why we like this one is because it has two sides. So you can always switch up the look. I also found that people tend to go one direction with mats, and I haven't seen many of these anywhere. And again, I don't know why, but I wanted to share that with you guys because we really have liked this. And we have a dog which tends to, think this is for digging sometimes. And he loves sitting around here with the kids. So it could have gotten really, really ruined. And I'm not saying it looks perfect right now like it did when we first got it, but all things considered, we've had this for so long and it looks in great condition. And that will be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a mom friend, and I will see you next time.